ISIS in Ohio. It's a story that's making international headlines, and it's the reason why the Rebel.media has come right here to Ohio State University. That's just become the scene to the latest jihadist attack on U.S. soil. We're right here at Watts Hall, which was the very epicenter of Abdul Artan's terrorist attack here on unsuspecting university students. If you can follow my footsteps here, what you can see is the very area where Abdul drove his car right up onto the sidewalk before fleeing his car and then taking out a butcher's knife and injuring some 11 people who had to be hospitalized before he was taken out by a fatal shot by a nearby campus police officer. Folks, I have to be honest, it's been somewhat of a shocking circumstance coming onto the ground. We've just emerged from a vigil for the students that were injured, where less than 500 people showed up out of the thousands that attend this school. And the message there was one of unity, that the campus has to remain a safe space for people from all backgrounds. But perhaps what was more perplexing than that was coming to the actual scene of the crime. And if it wasn't for the broken glass scattered all over the ground here, you wouldn't know anything had happened at all. No caution tape, no police, no cameras from mainstream media organizations. Never mind life going on as usual. It's as though nothing happened at all. But something has happened. Just today, the Islamic State has claimed responsibility for Abdul Artan's terrorist rampage right here at OSU. They're not just claiming to have inspired it, they're saying that he was a, quote, soldier of the Islamic State. Now, this news, while the mainstream media failed to report on the terrorist connection for some 24 hours after the attack took place, it shouldn't come as much of a surprise to at least our viewers because, of course, we were following the facts. The facts which include this Facebook post from Artan just moments before he unleashed his terrorist rampage. In it, Artan calls out America specifically and her foreign policy in Burma, which he said has led him to a, quote, boiling point. Plus, he says he'd like to see America make peace with ISIS in their non-abbreviated Arabic form. He also makes mention of Anwar al-Awlaki. That's a Yemeni American cleric who calls for unrelenting attacks against the U.S. And he says that he's willing to kill 1 billion infidels. Now, that Facebook post came just a short while after the university paper, The Lantern, published this piece featuring Artan himself, who says he's uncomfortable in the university because of their lack of prayer rooms and criticized the media's portrayal of Muslims. Well, suffice it to say, for folks who had been following the facts as the story developed in these past 24 hours, they knew terrorism was the motive. But like so many stories that we've covered at The Rebel before, including the Orlando shooting at the gay nightclub there, it was the media that was unwilling to admit the motives that the terrorists so clearly laid out. And is it any wonder that when I got on the ground here, it was folks that were reiterating the fake news narratives? I'm not even kidding when I tell you over half the people I've talked to still think it was a shooting that occurred right here on OSU grounds. On top of that, no one I've spoken to yet has used the term terrorism. They've all referred to this as the, quote, incident or the, quote, thing that happened at OSU. Folks, that's why we're here. Over the course of the next 24 or so hours, we're going to be talking to students, to teachers, to a nearby mosque, which, yes, has been connected to some 6 known terrorists. That's only within 1 mile of campus. We're going to be getting the facts that you and I both want to know, because we know that the fake news stations, well, we can't leave the heavy lifting up to them, because frankly, they've proven that the fact that they cannot carry this story any further. Folks, I'm going to make a little plea with you. We are 100% crowd funded. We rely 100% on the support of our viewers. And so I'd encourage you, if you want to continue watching what we're up to here, and if you care about getting the real facts about what's happening here on the ground at Ohio State, I'd like you to visit www.ohiojihad.com. www.ohiojihad.com. and help just cover our airfare and hotel expenses. We're not asking for very much, but just a little bit of help so we can come do this job, which we see as a service for all of us in obtaining the truth. For the Rebel.media, I'm Faith Goldie. For more of the news the mainstream media won't tell you, click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit ohiojihad.com.